Hello. Is that Stephanie? There you go, Stephanie. Hi, how are you?
I am well, thank you.
Wonderful. I was
Hi,
5
Stephanie.
minutes
Hi,
late.
Rabbi.
Hi, Alyssa. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank God. Hello, Michael. And is that Robin I see in the background?
Yeah, she's How
Little
about
shy.
that class this morning?
What did you think?
The class this morning.
What did you think about it, Stephanie?
I thought it was fabulous the way everyone interacted.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yes, Martha.
I'm just pulling up us onto Facebook. So Stephanie, you didn't think I put my foot in my mouth in that one?
No, actually, I think somebody made a point that you're a modern, you're a 20 rabbi.
Well, I said to him, I'll take it as a compliment.
Yes, absolutely. Because you can't possibly think as if you were 100 years old, 100 years ago. You have to think for today. And I like what you said.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
That's so nice. So just want to say I'm trying to get into Facebook, and I think we're live. Okay, we're live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook, and we are live on Zoom.
Hi, Martha.
Hi, Felice. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. Hi, everyone.
I'm not seeing one person over there. There's somebody there's somebody I can't see on Zoom. Who's that sixth person? Who do you think? Oh, there it is.
Robin.
Is that Robin?
It's Gail Wertheimer.
Oh, there's Gail.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, how are you? How's everybody doing, guys?
How are you?
Shalom, Gail. How you doing? All right? And the lady in the middle. I don't recognize the lady in the middle. What's your name, ma'am?
I gotta find her. That's Martha. She came to our shul last year.
Wow, Martha from last year, of course. How could I forget? Hi, Martha. How you doing, Martha? Nice to see you. Where do you live, in Boynton?
From New Jersey.
Martha from New Jersey. Are you there now? Okay. I'd like to start off by wishing everybody a good Shabbos. Let's pour a little l'chaim.
South Jersey, New Philadelphia. Cherry Hill.
You're in Cherry Hill right now? Okay. So, friends, I'm going to say good Shabbos to you all.
Good Shabbos. Good
Shabbos. It's been a crazy week. I don't know, even in this quarantine, you'd think you'd be a little slowed down. I'm not slowing down, nothing. I'm just running in a different direction. So I just want to start off by saying Shabbat Shalom. And I'm going to make a blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nihiyah bidvaro. Amen.
Amen.
This is good. This is good. L'chaim, l'chaim, everybody. So, thank you, Stephanie, for your kind words about this morning's confrontational encounter. We had a class on Judaism at home, and we were talking about the blessings of gender, which was a very interesting conversation. And on the tail end of our lesson. Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate it. Always nice to hear your positive spin.
I felt like it made sense. It really did make sense.
You know, Stephanie, I want to tell you, it's a real Torah study. When it's unprepared, it's authentic, it's combative or combative. I'm not sure which one of those words. Whatever. You know, it's no holds barred. It makes it authentic. It's real. It's beautiful. And that's what our community is about. It's about encountering heart to heart, face to face. And that's why I'm so glad to be here with everybody. I want to welcome Susan Cole to the conversation. Hi, Susan. And, of course, Martha. We've got from Atlanta. We've got Robin and Michael. And all the way from PJ National, we have Gail Wertheimer.
Yes.
From Singer Island, we have Mark and Alyssa. From Ibis, we've got Stephanie and Jay. Is Jay there too?
He's not here. He's probably resting.
He's in the zone. Okay, fine. He'll get the message. And Felice is, of course, in Mirasol. And just before I begin, I want to welcome our friends on Facebook and our friends on YouTube. I see that Dean Dubansky is on YouTube. Hi, Dean. And a few others. As well as on Facebook, we got Graciela and Warren and Helen, who are up in Virginia. Don't know why, but they're there. Hope you guys are doing well. We miss you already. And the Papilskis are here with us. Alison Pesner, Gavin Meltz, Shmaya Futafast. Good stuff. Okay, so let's get cracking, guys. Let's get a little inspired here before Shabbos. And even Doron is with us. Doron Graciela here on the Zoom side. So l'chaim, everybody. I want to start off by saying, that I want to start off with a story. Hey, Mos, how you doing? Can I hear from you? I'd like to start off with a little story. Oh, Ashley's coming on. I'd like to start off with a story about a certain Jew who complained to Rabbi Yitzchak of Berdichev. Rabbi Yitzchak of Berdichev was a very special Hasidic rabbi. He made a shidduch with the child of the Alter Rebbe. So his child married the Alter Rebbe's child. Alter Rebbe, the author of the Tanya and the Code of Jewish Law. I mean, that was quite, he must have been quite an illustrious personality. Thank you, Monsieur. Come say hello to everybody. Come on. He must have been a very special personality, as you'll see in the story. Monsieur wants to say good Shabbos to everybody, by the way, before we start. There's Monsieur. Hi, say hi.
There's Monsieur.
There's Monsieur.
Shabbos.
Hi, Ashley. How are you?
Hi.
So, Rabbi Yitzchak Berdichev, somebody once came to complain to him that he saw a Jew, while he was fixing his wagon, he was saying Shema Yisrael. Right? He was saying the prayer Shema Yisrael. Now, you know why you cover your eyes when you say Shema? Because this is the Pledge of Allegiance. We're declaring God's unity in the world. So you cover your eyes because you're supposed to be focused and concentrated. So what does he do? This guy, while he's saying the Shema, he's fixing his wagon. Reb Levi Yitzchak Berdichev looks towards heaven and he says, Father in heaven, our Master in heaven, he says, look how devoted your children are. Even while he's fixing his wagon, he still declares Shema Yisrael Hashem Echad, that God is one. Right? It's a matter of perspective to be able to choose to see the bright side of things. Right now we're living in tumultuous times where it's very easy to see the glass half full or to see the glass half empty. Both sides are correct. Our brains are wired towards a negativity bias. They're wired to steer towards the negative. I want you to think about this a moment. What happens if you get 10 text messages in a day? 9 of them are complimentary, but one of them is somebody who's very upset with you. Which one will you be remembering that night when you go to bed?
The one that's upset.
Of course, the one that's the negative one, right? The good ones, they go in the one ear and out the other ear, right? But it's the bad one, that's the one that sticks with you. It's almost, science has proven that this is a very real thing. It's actually a survival instinct that's built into us that allows us to be protected from danger. When your brain reacts more aggressively, more passionately to fire or to danger, you're less likely to actually put yourself in a circumstance of danger, right? If you don't register the negative stimuli, you might actually die. So that's why it's a good thing that we have this negativity bias. But that's how we're built by default. If we want to be happy, then we've got to make a conscious decision, like Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, to see the cup half full, to switch from a negativity bias to a positivity bias. Let me give you a quick example. Can you imagine what life was like in the Garden of Eden? Can you imagine if you were in the Garden of Eden, what it must have felt like? Any ideas? I mean, life was perfect. There's really nothing to complain about, right? There's seemingly nothing that you could possibly complain about. Yet, we find that what happens when Adam and Eve eat from the fruit of the tree of knowledge? What happens? We find that Adam complains to God. He says, it's not my fault that I ate from the tree of knowledge. It's her fault. The woman that you gave me, that's why I ate from the tree of knowledge. Like, she messed up, and it's really your fault because you put her here in the first place. He got a woman. He got a wife. What could be better? Dawn, tell me if you agree. What could be better than getting a wife? Seriously. Is there a better gift in the whole world than a wife? Good answer, Dylan. Well said. No, Adam is alone in the Garden of Eden. God gives them a wife. He expresses how happy he is that he has a wife. But when push comes to shove and God asks him, why do you eat from the tree? He says it's her fault. Yet, so Adam was miserable in the Garden of Eden. He's complaining. But you know that in the concentration camps of Auschwitz, there were Jews that woke up in the hell of Auschwitz. They woke up in the morning and they would say the morning blessings. And they would thank Hashem for the goodness that God has given them. Can you imagine in the hell of the concentration camp? They were thanking God, while Adam, in the beauty, in the paradise of Gan Eden, he's complaining. What does that tell you? It tells you that happiness is not something that happens to you. Happiness is a decision that you actually have to make. Happiness is not a matter of our circumstances. It's a matter of our choices. It derives from our perspective, not from our personality. And that's the thought that I want to share with you today at this Farbrengen. I want to develop this theme. But I'd like to ask you how you feel about it. About making a conscious decision to be happy. Even if you're annoyed that you're stuck at home. And we're all getting this quarantine fatigue right now. So even if you're feeling a little annoyed or down or depressed or a little anxious, maybe a little claustrophobic, hanging around with the same people all the time, do you think that you can actually bring yourself to a conscious decision to be happy? What do you think? L'chaim. You got to unmute yourself if you want to say something. Michael, what are you saying there? Michael, you want to chime in?
Sorry, what was the topic?
The question is, do you think that you can consciously bring yourself to be happy? Is happiness a result of your circumstance, or is it a decision that you make?
No, sure. You can talk yourself into anything. Being happy is just another thing that you can talk yourself into.
On that point, I want to tell you, you know that in Hebrew, the word happiness is besimcha. If you rearrange those exact letters, it becomes machshava. So the word for happy is the same word as machshava, which means thoughts. Because
my mother said that happiness was from within.
There you go. Happiness is from within. You see, you could have had Adam in the Garden of Eden was not happy, right? He had the perfect environment. In the Holocaust, they had the worst, the most horrible environment. Yet what happens here is that you see that our external environment has very little bearing on our happiness. It's what we choose to do from within. It's that positivity bias that we have to consciously employ. That's what makes the difference. And that's why in Hebrew, the word for happy and the word for thought is the same exact word. Besimcha is happy. You rearrange those letters, it becomes machshava, which means thought. Because positive thoughts are not the result of our happiness. They're the cause of our happiness. When we choose to be happy, that's when we actually become happy. By the way, this is a very tangible benefit. Because scientific studies have concluded that people that are optimistic tend to live 11 to 15% longer than pessimists. What do you think of that? It was actually, by the way, the Rebbe said that the reason that he became such an optimist, and the Rebbe was known to be an optimist. Have any of you read some of the Rebbe's books that we gave out, by the book Rabbi by Telushkin, or some of the other books that are available about the Rebbe's biography? It's extraordinary. There's a wonderful story there about the first black congresswoman elected to Congress. Her name was Shirley Chisholm. That when she was elected in Brooklyn, come over here, Rivka. Close the door. When she was elected in Brooklyn, they it seems what? Shalom, I'm on the. Come on over. Come join the chat here. So when Shirley Chisholm was elected to Congress, she was the first black woman to be part of that, and they actually gave her an assignment to be in charge of from Brooklyn. They gave her an assignment to be in charge of agriculture, or on the agricultural committee out in Idaho, and she felt very, very insulted. She was like, "Why would that be?" Yeah, we have a young rabbi here. You see this young rabbi? Rabbi Meir was a Shabbat Abba today. He's wearing a sombrero. So she was very upset. She felt slighted that she was given this committee that had absolutely nothing to do with her district in Brooklyn. I mean, what does Brooklyn have to do with a farm? She was really upset about that. She actually had a private audience of the Rebbe when she was appointed. This must have been in the 70s or the 60s. And the Rebbe said to her that this is the most beautiful opportunity because you have so many mothers and children that can't afford milk and food in Brooklyn. And if you're in charge of agriculture, then you can create a program to provide them with food. And indeed, she said much later in life, she said that the food stamp and the WIC program that she pioneered was thanks to a rabbi in Brooklyn who refused to see the negative side of things. Right? Whatever situation comes our way, we always are able to spin it in a positive way. Why? It's based on the doctrine of divine providence, of Hashgacha Pratit. Everything that happens for a reason. And if everything happens for a reason, it means that where I am is where I need to be. And where I am is where God wants me to be. So right now we're in quarantine. I guess we have to be home. And when we're at home, then our mission is at home. And if you're in charge of or on the committee of agriculture, then there's something that you can do on that committee of agriculture. Another quick story is somebody, I guess it's along the same lines. Somebody complained to the Rebbe, I think it was, about a Jew in Shul who would come to make a minyan, but he refused to daven. He was reading a newspaper. In the olden days, they used to have newspapers. You know what I'm talking about? Remember the newspapers? You had to read it on paper, deliver it to your door. So those newspapers, this guy used to sit in shul and he used to read a newspaper. But he would be the 10th man to make the minyan. So the Rebbe said to him, look at the power of a Jewish soul. This guy obviously doesn't believe very much, but he cares so much to want to ensure that a Jew will be able to say Kaddish and to be able to say, to read Torah and to be able to answer Amen. I'd like to welcome on YouTube Diane Weinberg, Shabbat Shalom, and Ron and Elaine Collins. Also, I'd like to welcome on Facebook Richard Greenspan and Michael Stone, Brett Sandella. So many friends over here. This is wonderful. So, folks, why don't you chime on in? I don't want to make this like a soliloquy here. I don't know. I think you're all muted, but I don't know how. I don't have the proper controls today. But how do you feel, folks? You want to chime in on how you view the challenges that you're facing and how you can spin it in a positive way? No, don't worry. Oh, over here?
No, participants.
Yeah. Anybody want to chime in? Oh, there it is. Okay. Anybody want to comment? I mean, I can keep on going. You know me. I can keep on going, right? What? Oh, that's how you do it. Okay, fine.
Can I be?
Yes, who is that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we do. Who is that?
Oh.
I'm sorry, who is speaking? Was there somebody wanting to speak over there? Anyways, folks, here's what I'm going to say. I would like to say the following. I'd like to say l'chaim to you all. It's almost Shabbos. And we're going through difficult times right now. We don't know what's going on. This week we found out that the rest of Florida was redeemed and allowed to go out, but apparently the Tri-County, the Tri-County is not able to get out, so we're still stuck at home. Where's that noise coming from? So we're still stuck at home, and we apparently have a mission here. But let's try to keep it positive. Let's make sure that we can keep our thoughts as positive as possible, that we should be able to generate a happy state of mind. And a happy state of mind is reflective of a mindset which is filled with bitachon, with trust in God. Remember that trust in God is the vehicle and the conduit for all the blessings to flow upon us, as we've been learning every morning in the gates of trust. Joy is a mindset which expresses God's presence in our lives. Where we're not joyous, where we're worried, where we're upset, where we're annoyed, that's when we don't really believe in God's providence over us. So let's take advantage of this Erev Shabbos to, as we see each other and as we're strengthened with each other's presence, to always try to see the positive side, to see how the cup is half full and to be able to see the positive in all the struggles and all the challenges that come upon us. L'chaim to that. L'chaim, l'chaim. I see, Stephanie, you got some good wine over there, looks like. You like a good glass of wine, and also to Martha as well. So, friends, it's almost Shabbos. Have you kids? Can we sing a song together? A Shabbos song? Can we sing Shalom Aleichem together, kids? Rivka, come here. We're going to sing Shalom Aleichem. You ready? So, the friends, we're going to sing Shalom Aleichem to welcome the Shabbos. You ready? Zev, you ready? Everyone together. Let's go. Rivka, come join me. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yasharetz, Malachei Yoni Melech, Malachei Yamelachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yasharetz, Malachei Akadosh Baruch Hu. Hey, Shalom Aleichem, Sharetz, Malachei Malachei Yamelachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Akadosh Baruch I think we're on a roll here, so I think we need to do the top of the beer. Is that your man's favorite song? Is that my God? We're going to the go upstairs. Where are you going, Zeb? Yeah, we're going to do the Chadi. Come on. Yeah, Zeb, we lost you. Hey, Zeb. Okay, Mary, we're going to do the Chadi. You ready? We're going to do the Chadi. You ready? Kenla coming up. Zevi coming up. Take your place on the bima here. We got a bima going on. Hey, Jay. How you doing? Nice to see ya. You looking good?
Thank you.
Okay, kids, you ready? Zevi and Mary, how does the tune go? Shamar v'zachar v'divorech Ishmiyan kela meyuchad D'Hashem echad D'Shmo echad L'Shem v'Sefer v'Lisila One more time. Okay, now we're going to do a Aseh Shalom. You ready, kids? Everyone ready? Dvorah, you want to do a Aseh Shalom? Or do you want to say Torah if it's Dvorah? Say Torah. Say it loud. Well, loud and clear. Go say Torah. Dvorah's going to lead us in song on here. Torah! Siva! Lanu! Maisha. Mairasha. Kehilas. Yaakov. Yay. Okay. Now, session everybody. We're going to wrap it up with a session. You ready? Before candles. Oh, shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'ala kol Yisrael Hey, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'ala kol Yisrael. Hey, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'ala kol Yisrael. Hey, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'ala kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'ala kol Yisrael. That was so much fun. L'chaim, Warren. We can't even fit all these beautiful faces in one webcam over here. We need a bigger webcam, L'chaim. Folks, it is almost Shabbos. It is almost Shabbos. The Rebbetzin is in the other room, so we're going to pass the candle lighting over to you ladies, wherever you are, to light the Shabbos, to light up your homes, to light up your hearts, to light up your minds, to light up the world with the light of Torah and mitzvahs, the love of Yiddishkeit, so that God willing, all of these lights will unite around the world globally, turning the darkness of this world into the light of Mashiach already this Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you. Stop that. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Every Shabbos.
And Zevi's saying we do this every Erev Shabbos, right, until we open up the quarantine. And also, we'll see you tomorrow night if you'd like to join us. Same time, same place, 8:45. Tomorrow night for the Havdalah service, the music of Havdalah. We will see you all then. In the meanwhile, over and out. Shabbat Shalom. Have a meaningful and a beautiful Shabbos, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Mises and the Marmers and Marsha. Torah. No. Thank you, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. And to our friends on YouTube and on Facebook. Okay. Candles. So, and Richard, may Shabbat find you and your family in health and happiness. Daniel Gicher, welcome. Shabbat Shalom. Yomar, Shabbat Shalom. Sandy Boynton. Danny Gicher is welcoming the neighborhood rabbi. Cool. Nice.
See everyone tomorrow.
Hashem is showering me with Judaism and love, with rabbis all over the country reaching out. Beautiful, all stemming from our meaning. What? She's fine. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Richard says this too. Sean, tell mommy. It's fine. It's okay. Hi, Susan. Sean, what's the problem? What's the issue? The 18 minutes. The 18 minutes starts, and then you have 18 minutes. Okay. Good. So there's so many comments coming in over here on Facebook. Wow, it's so busy over here. Thank God. Oh, what was that? Okay. Sheesh, a lot of action here in the house, in the room, and on YouTube we got Rabbi Wertheimer. Dean, so beautiful, such positivity. Ron Collins. Okay, so I'm going to sign out of YouTube. Shabbat Shalom, everybody on YouTube. Racheli, don't do that.
Rabbi.
Yes.